What's going on YouTube? It's Giga here bringing you some Series 13 battles with live commentary. Today we are supporting the Littleroot Lessons Draft League, or not the Littleroot Lessons Gallery Goodbye podcast and playing some Series 13. So we are, supporting that. I'll definitely make sure to link that podcast down below as we hop into this last little goodbye. So looking at my opponent's team, okay, so I've played this team before. It is Volcanion, Volk, Groudon, Zard with Zacian, Lunala, and Grim. So what? I think Dialga is actually really good here. I definitely want to lead Grimmsnarl. I think we want to go Grimmsnarl, lead, I like Grimmsnarl Venus. No. Let's do Grimmsnarl Dialga with dual primals. Yeah, let's do that. So yeah, as we're hopping right into it, definitely make sure to subscribe, right? We are working our way towards 1 billion subscribers, and we really can't get there without you. Also, as we're getting into it, definitely make sure to check me out on Twitch. I have been streaming some shiny hunting in preparation for Scarlet and Violet, so that's definitely where you can find me as we're heading into things like I showed in my last video. The ladder's a little all over the place for me right now, so have to kind of make some adjustments. But also we will be uploading Let's Plays to the channel once Scarlet and Violet drop. It seems like that's what people wanted. Unless people want something else, like let me know in the comments below. I'm happy to try and get live streaming working again after running into some issues with that. So yeah, we will let's see what's going to happen here, right? Luckily, I have played this team, so I know a little bit. As we are going to see Grimmsnarl with the Groudon, so this is interesting, right? I very much would like to set up a Reflect. Okay, so I have Ogre in the back, right? And as a result, I'm fine to Reflect and Steel Spike into the Grimmsnarl just to weaken it. I forget what set. Yeah, I forget the set on this Grimmsnarl. Right, so we're just gonna go for it, right? You only have one form of weather, so having the ability to pop right into Kyogre, I think is gonna be really huge here, as we are either going to be faster or they're not maxing, both of which are good for us. Right, if they're not maxing, right, that's super huge. We have the ability to go for something like a Max Dragon. We definitely want to paralyze. We want to paralyze the Zacian if they have it in the back. Also, what's huge, right, is, okay, so we're going to see no max. We are going to indeed see the light screen, which is suggesting a Precipice Blades. And that would be huge for me, right, being able to get my weakness policy triggered. And that will really put Dialga in this huge position, as we are indeed faster, which is awesome. It could be a speed tie. I don't like that at all. I do not like the fact that it lived. I very much, would like to have gotten the knockout. But if we see a Precipice Blades, right, like that's awesome. We're going to see a Sword Stance revealed here, which I should know, right? I have played this team. But we are, at +1. I'm going to go for a Spirit Break onto their Grimmsnarl, as well as go for a Max Wormwind onto this Groudon, right? We want to try and pin it as much as we can and force it into this position, right, where we're just going to try and take away some of your boosts. If we have a Steel Spike and a Wormwind on it, right, that should be pretty comfortable, especially with the Reflect Up. So really trying to put our Dialga in the best possible position to try and do some work. It looks like we are going to get Scary Faced here, which is fine with me, as we are going to see, perfect, it is going to be that Precipice Blades coming out here, which is going to trigger that weakness policy and put Dialga in a fantastic position. As we will be able to get rid of this Grimmsnarl, and more importantly, right, we will be able to fire a +2 Max Wormwind onto this unmaxed Groudon, really putting in some work here. So I'm fine just to this should be a knockout, right? Perfect. We are going to get rid of that Groudon, and then yeah, like I said, it is Scary Face. This is a Cloverbells' team that I have seen before, and so right, you really do not have a good way of dealing with Dialga, as it's going to be the Volcanion in the back as well as Zacian. So need to figure out, I think the play here, right, is I definitely want to get rid of Zacian. I'm fine to go for Max Quake into it. We do have if we can get the T-Wave on it, I'm actually like just like really set. So we're gonna go for a hit there, as well as a big max quake into it, right? Even if you choose to go for a protect, that's gonna do a hefty chunk, and we should be able to get the knockout after. And I think being able just to drop paralysis on things is going to be huge, right? Like with the damage, we can bring out Kyogre, we can go for a water spout and a T-Wave, which should take out the Zacian. Like, yes, you will get some HP back with your Volcanion, but at the same time, I don't care that much. But yeah, we're gonna see Volcanion in the back as well as Zacian, so that's gonna be really nice. We're gonna see the max. Obviously, it's going to be that Volcanion. But also, you know, I'm gonna take a quick shameless plug. So I take a lot of notes when I record, and I recently got this like basically just like a screen that I can write on and like reuse, so I don't have to use a ton of paper, which I think is really cool, right? I love being environmentally friendly. We are going to see the Protect coming out, so pretty obvious there. We are going to actually take, I don't actually know if we're going to survive, which in hindsight is like kind of a big deal. We're going to see the Flare come out into the Grimmsnarl, so an interest at actually a really good target, a targeting decision there, as it's going to make it so we do not have that light screen coming out, but we will pretty crucially get a max quake off onto the Zacian, doing a really sizable chunk there. And so now the big question is, what do we go for next? I think we bring out I think we have to bring out Kyogre here. We do have the Reflect up, so that should help Kyogre survive some hits. So I want to go for a Thunder onto it, and then I'm gonna go for a Thunder onto the Volcanion. We should outspeed with Kyogre. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go for an Earth Power onto the Zacian, right? So we don't. That's really bad. We Origin Pulse here, and we go for an Earth Power onto the Volcanion. That's actually really bad. This is not an Assault Vest Kyogre that I thought it was, which we're going to see the Sacred Sword going into the Dialga, thanks to that Reflect really coming in handy. So Origin Pulse, unfortunately, that's hitting into the Volcanion. I'm fine with it gaining a little HP back as long as we hit this Zacian, which Survey says it's not a knockout, which is a pretty big deal, as the Quake going to come out, most likely going into the Kyogre, doubling up into the Dialga. So that's a pretty smart call, but right, we now have access to Groudon to kind of come out here, and I think that I'm assuming that's where my Assault Vest is. I should know this. That's actually really bad. Okay, Groudon. Okay, so so here's the issue, right? We don't have a way to hit this Volcanion, and so I'm gonna go for a Water Spout, as well as go for a Precipice Blades, right? You should probably double up into the Groudon. That's my thought. It's going to be Solar Blade. The big question now, oh yeah, I totally knew about this. Solar Blade. The big question is, can we live with the Reflect up? Survey says it's going into the Kyogre. So a pretty interesting choice actually there. Let's see if we double connect. We do hit the Precipice Blades. We are going to do a really sizable chunk onto this Volcanion, and so now the big question is, can we should be able to survive the Max Flare, right, thanks to the Assault Vest. Survey says perfect. Okay, so we are going to be able to survive that, and now it's really just going to come down to, do we hit this Precipice Blades? I don't think we can chance it on something less accurate, right? You know what? Live and die. We live and die by the blade. That's just the way it goes. We are going to indeed connect this Precipice Blades, so we will be able to take game one, which, you know, is always a good start. So what do we see on lead? We saw a Grimmsnarl with Groudon. So I'm wondering. Okay, so we know it's Scary Face on the Venusaur, or on the Grimmsnarl. Dialga definitely did a lot. I think that they definitely made the smart play of targeting down the Grimmsnarl, right? Like, obviously, we could have done things a lot differently. We're also faster than the Volcanion. So the question now is, how do we adjust? I don't want to lead the same thing. I kind of like Venusaur. I could do Venusaur Grimmsnarl with Kyogre and Groudon. Let's do that. Let's do Venu Grim. Venu, Grim, Ogre, and Dawn. I think that that's a solid option. Sorry, I'm quickly checking something for work. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, I am technically working right now. But yeah, I feel good with this adjustment, right? We have the ability to fire off sleep powders, which, you know, I'm a big fan of. I think targeting down the Kyogre with the Solar Blade was a mistake because of the fact that you didn't know if I had a way of hitting the Volcanion, which we have revealed that I don't. So hopefully that is, I mean, not hopefully. Hopefully we can, you know, use that lack of information to our advantage, as the items have not been officially revealed, as we didn't reveal a switch move with Kyogre, so it could be something else, as we are going to see Grimmsnarl Lunala. So lead here, we're going to see the Lunala making a pretty big adjustment here. And so what I want to do is I'm going to just go for the Sleep Powder as well as go for a Spirit Break onto the Lunala as well. I'm fine just to use Venusaur as more of a annoyance than anything, but I do definitely want it to fire off a Spirit Break, right? Like, you don't really have the best damage onto Grimmsnarl, but I should not play overly casually with my Grimmsnarl, right? Like, these screens are very, very valuable in the long term, and also it looks like he also has Light Clay. I should know this. I've literally played this team before, and I should probably pull up the pace. Is that cheating? It is cheating. I would not feel good about pulling up the pace. We are going to hit the Sleep Powder, which is awesome, right? And also it looks like that Grimmsnarl is just going to immediately go for an attack here, probably a Spirit Break. And also my Grimmsnarl revealed to be faster, as we do get a really hefty chunk of damage onto this Lunala. So I'm actually really happy about that, as a Spirit Break going to come out into my Grimmsnarl. Don't like that at all, but we will be able to at least set up a Reflect, and I'm hoping a Reflect is enough, as I'm going to fire off another Sleep Powder onto this Grimmsnarl, as well as go for a Spirit Break here, with the idea that if we can set, like, I don't want to necessarily max too early, and so I'm really hoping that we can kind of stall when I need to do that. The Lunala is really nice to see, as we are going to luckily hit that second Sleep Powder, and then we can start firing our own Spirit Break, and we can stop the screens coming out here, as we will just get a good amount of damage onto this Grimmsnarl. This Lunala now has a chance to wake up, so definitely something to be wary of. But I do want to definitely try. Okay, we are going to see a Trick Room come out. Trick Room is fine with me. Right, we know the Grimmsnarl has to stay asleep. I'm going to actually go for a Vine Lash onto the Grimmsnarl, as well as set up a Light Screen. I'm gonna do that, right? We know the Grimmsnarl. Oh no, the Grimmsnarl does have a chance to wake up, so that's a little bit scary. But if we can get a ton of residual chip, that would be huge. And also, right, like, we can take advantage of the fact that we can pivot out into Kyogre, and that's going to really help us out in terms of that damage, right? Like, I think we can use this Trick Room better than our opponent. Not necessarily. It's actually a little bit scary, right? Because of the fact that they probably have Volcanion in the back, and the reason we are seeing this sort of play is the idea of using that Volcanion as the main max option, and I'm really hoping that we can take full advantage of sort of our max turn. So I probably should have what's it called? I could have played this a little bit better. Because, right, we're using the let's see what's gonna happen here. We're gonna see a Spirit Break onto my Grimmsnarl, and that is, I was hoping we were gonna live that. So we are going to get the Vine Lash off. I think they're reversing their own Trick Room, right? That might be what's happening here. Given the fact that the Lunala should be moving before me, which, you know, I would be very okay with, as we are going to see a Meteor Beam come out. So that's totally fine. So we are speed time. Speed high. And so you're going to get back to neutral here. We probably want to bring out, Groudon here. Yeah, we want to use Groudon here for the residual chip. That Lunala is, yeah, we bring out Groudon. We might have to like pivot around a little bit. Like we might have to switch out Groudon into Kyogre. As we are going to see, this should be, yeah, it is going to be the Volcanion in the back. Back. So I want to go for a Vine Lash. So here's the thing, right? I'm gonna pivot out into Kyogre. Right, I want to change the weather. I expect you to go for a Flare. Either way, I expect you to go for a Flare, or if you go into go for a Geyser into Kyogre. That's also not the end of the world. The issue though, right, is the fact that, right, this Volcanion is under Trick Room. So Porygon 2 might be an adjustment here, right? We have that ability to go for the Trick Room to reverse it, and if we can bring out Kyogre, or not Kyogre, if we can bring out Porygon 2, I think that's a really good option. I think that Kyogre was kind of a throw here, in all honesty. I think it's going to probably force a game 3, but I'm hoping for good damage to come out here, as we can go for we probably have to go for an Ice Beam onto this Lunala, which, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of. I think Porygon 2 definitely is coming the next game, because it offers too much here, as we will see the Flare. So perfect, going into the Kyogre, even better, right? We are taking really no damage at all here. The issue though, right, is you are setting up the Sun, which means we are going to be less than ideal in terms of speed, as yeah, we are going to see it is a speed tie between our Lunala, or yeah, their Lunala and my what's it called, my Groudon. So we at least take that hit really well, thanks to the light screen, as we fire off a really big Vine Lash onto this Volcanion. And thanks to that extra chip from the Vine Lash, we're really like chugging along, right? But like I said, I don't think it's necessarily going to be ideal here. I'm going to attempt to go for a Vine Lash here, as well as Ice Beam into the Lunala. I think if we can finish this Trick Room up, I think we're in really good shape. I think that is our best bet, because we know how much damage Groudon does to this Volcanion. And so that, like I said, is really our best bet. We could go for, like, if we keep Venusaur around, which I don't think we will, we could go for something like a Helping Hand, as we were going to see the Quake. So an interesting choice there, right? I would have figured you're going to go for something else, but Kyogre absolutely going to be able to take it thanks to that light screen, really putting in work. So being able to mitigate the threat of their Grimmsnarl, absolutely coming in clutch, as we will fire off this Ice Beam. These speeds are really all over the place right now. Good damage into the Lunala, as a Moongeist Beam going to come out into the Venusaur. And so I think what we need to do now is we need to protect at least one of the Pokemon that's on the field, right? I think okay, so Lunala is getting really low here, which is also really good. I think it's within one hit of what's it called, one hit of a Vine Lash. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna Helping Hand into the Kyogre, and I'm gonna Ice Beam into the Volcanion, just to put it in range of what's it called, just to try and put it in range of a of the Vine Lash, because right, if we can pick up a double knockout here, that would be really huge. I'm assuming we have one turn of Vine Lash left. We should, just given how everything works. And then if it's like Groudon, right, if it's Groudon behind a Reflect versus a Zacian, I feel really fine to go for a Fire type attack, as we will see the Perfect, the Protect coming out from the Lunala. I do not need to target you right now. The big question is, where is that Flare going? And it looks like it's going perfect into the Venusaur, right? Like, Venusaur has done its job. It's set up the residual for us, and like I said, if we can oh yeah, with that hit, this Ice Beam should put it in range of I don't know if it's in range. Is that a knockout? Perfect. Okay. With the Volcanion gone, like I said, we still have Reflect up, and so I feel pretty confident we can clean this up. Right. Whatever they have in the back, most likely going to be that Zacian. We should be able to handle pretty quickly. It might be an issue if it is Charizard. I'm going to be very, very honest here. Charizard could be a little bit scary, as we will see most likely the Zacian coming out here. Yeah, it is going to indeed be that Zacian. And so the big question that I really have is how many turns of... Okay, so the number of turns of Sun and Reflect is going to be pretty critical here. Oh, we don't have Reflect up. That's really bad. Okay, I'm going to Precipice Blades and Origin Pulse. There's 2 turns of Sun left. We're going to see the Solar Blade. I'm guessing that's going to go into Groudon, right? It probably has to go in. Yeah, it's going into Groudon here. Let's see if we survive. Survey says 2 HP. We take that any day of the week. Origin Pulse going to connect here. So that's going to be really helpful for us. It's going to do not that much. And so the big question now is Precipice Blades. Are you perfect? That should be the match. So yeah, we are going to be able to take that. Definitely make sure to check out the podcast. I will make sure to link it when it goes live. Also make sure to check out Littleroot Lessons, and also make sure to check me out on Twitch, right? We're doing the thing. But yeah, that's all I got. Thank you all so much. And until next time, I hope all of you are wonderful, and I'll see you then.